Hey guys, Natalia Schneimler here. I help boy moms have a better relationship with their sons and themselves by teaching them the tools how to manage their mind so that when anything comes up in life, they know exactly how to take care of themselves and their kids. Hey guys, how are you today? I have an episode for you today about anger and a different way to approach anger to figure out why you're angry and how to comfort the reason why you're angry so that you don't get angry next time. But before I do that, I'm just gonna tell you I am sitting outside the store, Canadian Tires, the store where I bought skates for my son twice now. My son and I went shopping for skates. He plays hockey. And the funny part is that the first time we bought skates, he thought it was the right size of skates, but then he went to skate in them and he said it was too big. So we went again, we bought another pair of skates smaller, and he went to skating them again, and again they were too big. And so the whole time I'm finding it really funny that how could we be wrong for the second time? Like this, it shouldn't be this hard to find skates the right size. And so now I have to exchange them again for an even smaller size. But I think this is exactly the analogy of what happens with us and the way we fix problems, the way we find the right thoughts, is we think this would be the right solution to, let's say, anger, and we borrow someone else's thought, and then the next time we're angry, that thought doesn't work for us. It doesn't fix the problem. It's not the right fit for us. And so, and you would think, right, we all expect it to be super easy to fix our thought problems, to just replace it with a better thought. But that's the thing, they don't all fit. They don't fit. We have to find the right one that fits. So each time you try it on, you think it'll work, and then you actually use it. So like my son had to go and skate and play a game in them, and he said, no, it was way too big. So that's what I am seeing, is that this is a life. This is how we have to find the thought that works for us. We have to keep trying them on, and then we'll find the right size down the road. So the anger approach is, whenever you're angry, what if you ask yourself, what am I afraid of in this situation? And I find that if you stretch yourself to see that, okay, I'm afraid of something in this situation. For example, like little things, like if my kids make a mess and I get angry, I'm afraid that I'm raising kids that are not thoughtful, or I'm afraid that I'm failing as a mom and I haven't taught them to clean up after themselves, or I'm afraid that they're going to grow up and not, be sloppy and not clean up after themselves. So there's this fear of something in the situation, but it comes out as anger. It comes out as frustration. It comes out as this, you're being upset at the reality. And why? Because you're afraid of something. Okay, so another example is if you are angry at your kids misbehaving, you're afraid that you're doing a bad job, which is similar to what the other one was. So at any moment in time, any situation, you are either afraid that you are not doing a good job, that you're not being a good mom, that you're failing, or you think that your kid's future is going to be terrible, and they're going to fail, and this means terrible things in the future, and you've already failed at this with them. So that's the fear that I'm talking about. And so here's why it's useful to know that. Once we know this, once we've identified what you're afraid of in each situation, and it's not going to feel like fear. It's not going to feel like, oh, I'm scared of this happening. It does not feel like fear. It feels like anger. But underneath it is ultimately that fear of, what if it's true? And so we try to fix it. We try to, we get really upset because once we see it in our heads, it's almost like the worst case scenario is true, right? it is dirty, they haven't cleaned it up, they're not thoughtful, and I have failed. So then we get angry. So once we have identified what's the fear, then we can deal with it. And the way I deal with it is, once I've identified it, is I instantly know that it's not true. The fear is like a false illusion. It's a lie. For example, that I'm a bad mom. I know that I'm not a bad mom. So once I identify it, because it's subconscious, once I identify it, then I can right away kind of dismantle it, and kind of it just falls apart because I see that it's not true. Okay? Or, for example, about your son's future or your kid's future. Once you identify that that's what you're afraid of, they're going to have, problems in their future, struggle. There's so many different ways, but one of the ways that I like to approach it is that with their future, I have options of what I can believe right now. And what I can believe right now is either something that makes me feel bad and I'm afraid of their failure, or I can trust. And I've done episodes on that as well, where you can practice trust. So you can then, you have options. The future hasn't happened yet. Your future hasn't come. And you can simply decide to trust that it's going to work out somehow. They're going to be fine. You can, think, okay, if I turned out fine, they'll be fine. Whatever way gets you to that trust, that's your option, right? The other option is simply acknowledging that you don't know what's going to happen. If that works for you, if that gets you away from being afraid and being frustrated and angry, then do that. And just saying, you know what, I think that I'm afraid the future will be this for them, but I actually don't know. I have no idea. So that's if you are struggling, questioning these beliefs, these fears, then definitely come talk to me, come get coached, because this is where coaching is extremely helpful, because we get to question them together and really see what's true, what's not true, what are we believing, and why are we believing that. But start with those two things. First, identifying what you're afraid of. Second thing is questioning it. Like, is this true? Am I a bad mom? Am I failing at this? What am I doing to make sure that they're, good human beings? And then you'll know the answers. You're doing your best. You're already doing everything you can. So you can just chill out. It's not true. What you're afraid of is not actually something legitimately you have to worry about. And with things that you can legitimately worry about for their future, that's also for you to identify, number one. Second, to question whether it is a great option for you to be thinking right now, because it feels bad. And it's not producing anything useful, right? It's not preventing terrible future for them. So those are the things. And those are processes, right? Identifying one is a process. You have to ask yourself questions and kind of dig deep into the truth of, what am I actually afraid of here? What am I not wanting to happen here? Or what do I not like in this situation? All of those you're kind of afraid of. And you are going to find the answer. Okay, what am I afraid of here? And then you can comfort that fear. It's okay. I'm a grown up. I'm taking care of this. I'm doing my best with my son. I'll have conversations with him. And what the worst case situation in this case is, just, this is dirty and needs to be cleaned up. There's no need to be afraid. There's no need to make it mean anything else. And we can deal with the worst case situation, right? That's the other approach you can take, is when you're afraid of something, you identify the worst case situation, and then you ask yourself, what would I do in this situation? And you know what you will do. You will clean it up. You'll have a conversation. You will do everything you need to help your son, to create the best possible future for him, etc. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go exchange the skates, and I love you all so much. Have a great week. If you are ready to experience the coaching and really have a deeper understanding of yourself and connection to your son, sign up for coaching with me. Go to www.coachingnatalia.com. We will talk, and you can tell me everything that's bothering you, and then we can fix it together, okay? I love you. Have a great week. Bye.